In this forecast, 10 plus inches of rain could bring extreme flooding to portions of the Midwest today. In addition to the flooding, isolated severe weather may occur today, and the Atlantic tropics are beginning to heat up. Why this system could be a concern. All of that and more is coming right up. Hey everybody, welcome back to another max velocity weather forecast, and today what we're going over is that extreme flash flooding potential, the severe weather for today, and as well as the tropics. We're going to give you a full breakdown on everything that you need to know in this forecast. Let's begin with the flash flooding for today. There is a moderate risk for flash flooding that does include southern Wisconsin, as well as eastern and northeastern portions of Iowa, and extreme southeastern portions of Minnesota. There is a slight risk outside of that goes all the way from western Michigan all the way back into central portions of Iowa. And again, turn around, don't drown. A lot of rain is expected in this area, and I'm talking significant rainfall. Here's a look at the rainfall totals expected throughout the day today. We've already had a lot of rain. Isolated amounts could get as high as 10 to 12 inches of rain. You can see estimated on radar as of right now, we could see as much as a foot of rain in isolated spots. You can kind of see down here at the bottom of my screen, close to 12 inches. Back over near Madison, estimated between 6 to 8 inches. So again, very heavy amounts of rain are expected today. Again, turn around, don't drown, get to higher ground if you are on any of these flash flood warnings. Let's hop into the timing for this afternoon and really all of today. Again, we'll have most of our rain this morning. We'll have another batch of showers and storms develop this afternoon into the evening hours. With increasing humidity, will create the potential for not just thunderstorm activity that could cause potential damaging winds, but also in addition to that, some flash flooding. Eventually going to the overnight hours, most of the rain will move off to the east and we should be drying out overnight, but we'll see a lot more storm activity later this afternoon into the evening hours. Dew points, by the way, almost 80-degree dew point down there in Iowa today. It's going to be a very humid day overall, and that's going to equivalent to more shower and storm activity, bordering 80 degrees down in southern portions of Wisconsin. But beyond that, again, that stationary front will begin to move a bit more down to the south. That should help to limit the overall storm chances in those regions. Beyond that, there is a little low-end chance for severe weather today. It does include Colorado. That does go for Denver all the way back into western Kansas, and another little marginal threat back up here that does include Iowa and as well as extreme southwestern portions of Wisconsin. Main threats and my main concerns today are the potential for maybe some isolated damaging winds. Here's a look at that timing this evening, and start to see by 7 to 8 o'clock some strong to potentially severe storms there north and west of Fort Dodge. Eventually by 9 to 10 o'clock we'll start to see storms going through areas like Mason City, Decorah right around 11 to 12 o'clock, and eventually that moves into Wisconsin. I'm not forecasting much severe weather there in Wisconsin tonight, but isolated damaging winds not out of the question over those directions. Let's take a look at the timing back over in Colorado. We'll see the typical summertime storms over here by 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. A lot of storms firing up right there from all the way from Denver all the way back down toward Trinidad, and eventually by about 9 to 10 o'clock storms moving very slowly off to the north and east. This could also pose the potential for some isolated flash flooding. Let's hop over to the tropics. We do have an area of development to watch very closely over the next several days. It does have now a 40% chance of developing over the next 5 days. The system has now officially just come off the coast of Africa, so it is now in play to become maybe something over the next 5 days. As of right now, again, it is just a system that we're watching, but it very well could become our fourth tropical storm of the season, so I'll have to watch this one very closely. If it does become named, it will be named Danielle, but it is currently forecasted to kind of track off this direction. Now, where it goes from there is still a lot of uncertainty, but most computer models are keeping it within this range here, so it really, from there, where is it going to go? Again, a lot of stuff to be determined over the next several days. Let's hop over to the computer models and give you an idea of where the computer models are showing it as of right now. European model is showing it as a fairly weak system. Here's your little system here by about Friday. You can see the wind speeds in terms of knots are around 35 to 40 knots, so not overly impressive. That's basically a low-end tropical storm, and then shear starts to really cut this off, and it really does not develop into anything at all. It still goes until next Wednesday, but again, as of now, it is expected to slow down as it gets closer to the Lesser Antilles and potentially steer back off to the north. Again, a lot of shear is expected in the Caribbean by the time the system gets over this direction. Here's a look at the GFS model, keeping this a much more potent system. Very well could become a Category 1 hurricane according to the GFS model, but obviously, again, a line between now and then. Eventually going to the weekend and early next week, again, it starts to approach areas just off to the north of the Lesser Antilles. The only thing is it runs into an extreme amount of shear. It still goes up until maybe next Tuesday, but then it kind of fizzles out and it becomes unknown after that. So a lot of things that can happen in between now and then. Again, we'll keep you updated with the latest on everything that you need to know. Again, most honest forecasts here on YouTube. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Like the video if you haven't already. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting and All Debts Repair.